You're listening to Range Minded from Independence Indoor Shooting. Before we get started, we want to remind you to find us on Facebook at Range Minded Podcast, give us a like, some feedback, and be sure to give us a post for some episode ideas or anything else you'd like to send us. This is episode number 39, where we talk about what we've accomplished over the year in the sport of shooting and what we'd like to accomplish next year. We also have our special guests from last episode, Scott Ron and Rolando Talamantes, back so they can share their New Year's resolutions as well. Also, you'll note that this is a Steve-free episode, but we'll do one after the first of the year so he can get his New Year's resolutions in as well. As always, thanks for listening to Range Minded, and we hope you enjoy episode number 39, the Range Minded New Year's Resolutions. Hello and welcome to Range Minded from Independence Indoor Shooting. My name is Mark Long.
My name is Ricky Kasner.
And if you tuned in last week, then you know Rolando and Scott from the last episode. Well, we decided to bring him back. Say hello, Rolando.
Hey, hey.
Hey, guys.
And there's Scott right there coming up.
Didn't wait for my cue.
No, he sure didn't. That's okay.
So eager, Scott.
But we thought that the more the merrier in this one because, when this one's released, it's going to be December 30th. So it's pretty much the end of the year. And I always think it's a good idea at the end of the year to kind of reflect back on what you've done, what you've accomplished. I wanted to take some time to reflect on what we were able to accomplish this year in our firearms journeys and what we'd like to do next year because for you, Scott, and for myself, we just, and I think you too, Rolando, we just got involved into with Independence this year. Really with RSOing and the competitions and the podcast is less than a year old. And Independence itself is even only a year and a half, I think, old or, just about,
At
right?
least, yeah.
So I figured it'd be good to have more folks on here. We can all kind of talk about, from different perspectives. So, and Ricky can play with the equipment, whatever he's doing here.
Hey, those are my ears. Those are going. That gets all my earwax.
I just touched Ricky's earbuds. I didn't even know what they were. I just touched them like an idiot. We're off the rails. Right. I'm gonna sit on my hands now.
You don't want to. Whatever you do, don't lick your fingers.
Just my hands.
I don't know. Just hold your hands up. Yeah. No, I'm going to sit on my hands here. So, but let's just. I figure we can go around in a circle.
Do we have a talking stick?
I don't know.
Right.
I'm afraid to
we
touch
have a blue
now.
gun. Get a blue gun out of there.
Yeah, if you have the blue gun, you can talk.
It's a Beretta 92, just so you guys know.
You guys have it? Oh, that's better than a Glock. So
yeah, there we go.
We do have some Glock 17s in there.
Yeah,
and an XD actually, Springfield.
Oh,
where's that one?
Where's
it's in the back.
Yeah, we should also mention that we're recording in the closet of our small classroom here at the Range Minded Academy.
Hopefully we don't have all the reverb.
Due to some good soundproofing, which actually works quite well. So now, and so the closet is stocked with all kinds of practice guns and books and literature.
Mark, you need the Beretta. It's your turn.
No, I don't want the Beretta. I want the Glock.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we're all rocking out with Glocks out right now, except for Ricky. He's got his Beretta.
I got my Springfield, baby.
Oh, there you go.
Rolando and I are pretty much Team Springfield, so you can't make fun of us.
No, because
there's nothing to say bad about it.
Because it's too easy.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Taurus.
Well, this one's gone really off the rails because
we are far in the weeds.
Yeah,
that is one thing that one listener said is like, okay, guys, get back on topic.
Really?
Stay on point.
Hey, I'll tell you what, if we're getting complaints, that's a great thing.
That's right.
I'm all about that.
It means people are actually listening.
Yeah, people are listening, and then listening long enough to the point that they want to, stick through. Yeah, but maybe we can talk about the podcast and our and what we want to accomplish in the new year with our podcast as well. But anyway, so yeah, let's start with what are you most proud of this year, firearms related? Ricky, let's start with you.
Okay, I have the Beretta.
You've got the Beretta's the talking stick. Yeah.
Okay. What was the question again?
I said, what was your biggest accomplishment firearms-wise this year, you think? Because you went to a lot of different places this year. You learned a lot. Took a lot of courses, I think. Right?
Yeah, I think that I really, and I know we've already talked about this, but I think the biggest thing is the bringing on the team that we have in the academy. By going to these different trainings that I've been able to attend and different expos and things like that, It's given me the opportunity to really look at the team that we have, and they're awesome. We have some of the best instructors I've ever been around.
Really?
Yeah.
I would agree. I mean, I haven't been around a lot,
absolutely.
but
yeah. I mean, when you're attending,
so they're naturally the best.
When you're attending some of the, obviously I didn't attend a Travis Haley or anything like that, but I was still attending some training with some pretty good people. But when I can come back with Bill Hanley and Jim Love and Leroy Graham and and Jessica Ferris and Sarah Van Acker, yeah. But yeah, when you can come back and when I can come back and I can look at the instructors that we have here and say, I would love to take a class from that person, and I don't have to travel a million miles to do it. That's saying something about our instructors.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing is we have an awesome team, and we're fortunate to have the team that we do.
Yeah, they've got a lot of experience from a lot of different walks of life, a lot of military and law enforcement backgrounds, a lot of real world things and experiences they've had that they share with points that they, educational points. So I agree with you there.
They probably get annoyed at me, I'm sure. I'm the hated one. We'll see.
I don't know. They don't ever say.
They don't say. They're just
too professional.
They keep it in until it's a volcano.
They're too professional is what they are.
Someday they're just going to start shooting because they're going to have a bad day at the office and they're just going to
start shooting.
There's Ricky, get him
in the range
to decompress. Yeah. So Rolando, let's go to you next. You're next in the circle. What do you think is your biggest firearms accomplishment?
You have to hold the Beretta.
I have to hold the Beretta.
Yeah.
Yes. Greatest accomplishment, being new to the area, I would say sounds cheesy as it is, but to find you guys. I mean, find a bunch of like-minded individuals that, share the same kind of deal, that you can hang out in the range and outside the range. Mm-hmm. So the classes that you guys, the competitions are great.
Yeah, because that's, I think, where we first met was in the competitions doing the bowling pin shoots and stuff. Yeah. But I didn't realize you had been in the area less than a year.
No, this is actually year 2.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Year 1 was just kind of like finding my way around, and then meeting the gentleman that I work with. And he found you guys first, and we talked about it. And
spread the good word.
Yeah, man. Cool.
Yeah.
Well then, the gentleman next to you, Scott Ron. What do you?
He's not.
Holding sorry, he can't talk yet.
Sorry, I have
to call.
I'm the law enforcement. Talking this one.
What do you? What do you think your biggest accomplishment is this year, firearms wise?
Accomplishments. I've taken
something you're proud of.
I'm actually proud of. I went and. It's any of the first certificates that I've gotten as far, because I'm not military. I super regret that. Not law enforcement. I just passionate kid, grew up with firearms. Taking the basic pistol, taking the intermediate pistol, touching on what Ricky said, just the amount of talent and personality and professionalism that the instructors here have, and being, acquaintances with them, being a part of the gun range, it's kind of like I said before, it's a passion, and learning so much as far as, stance, grip, sight alignment, trigger press, and being able to use that as an RSO. Like I, volunteered for, I was here every day for months, and then it was
good for you.
I was like, this is fun. I didn't know you could do this, and they're like, yeah, I guess we can pay you. And then I showed up, and just being able to help people, I don't know if I want to get into a huge backstory, but it's RSOing it means quite a bit. I know some people will just see it as like, oh, it's just telling us, to be safe on the range and, sweep the brass. But learn, at least kind of bestowing what I learned in the academy into new shooters. And I know I'm not an instructor, and, I'd like to hopefully be someday, but being able to help them and make firearms something that people are more comfortable with, and something they are less scared. Seeing actual Man, I'm off in the weeds here.
That's all right.
So
You're good.
You're speaking from the heart. Look at that. You're being, yeah.
And there is going to be music.
There is
going to be music tied to
There's
this.
shaking in the voice.
We're not even
It's
there,
coming.
guys.
Yeah. I don't think there's Kleenex in this closet. So
Yeah,
let's-
I bet there is.
I was just gonna see. But no, it's important because I get pretty passionate about firearms and defending the Second Amendment, and like, especially with people who, guns are bad, ban them all. To see results, from like a couple that comes in and say, "Oh, I've never shot before," and then I'll show them the basics and help them out, and then they just have a blast. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know we could do that." It's like that right there, seeing that.
Yeah.
Leroy and Bill and those guys, just like, that's got to be an awesome feeling, saying that you're helping all these people.
Well, and I don't have the Beretta, but I'll touch it.
Here you go.
There you go. I was just talking to a guy tonight, actually, on the phone, and something he said was pretty powerful. And it goes without saying, but what you're doing as RSO, and potentially, you're correcting potential dangerous behavior, right? Mm-hmm. And you're exponentially saving lives, right? You change that person's life with the way they handle a firearm, potentially.
Yeah.
And you'll never know this. But then their children are learning, and their children are educated, and the grandchildren, so the lives that you're affecting positively is pretty amazing, right?
It is. I do. Thank you for the bread. Yeah, it's especially what you guys are doing here. And I've talked to Brenda numerous times, and you see results, and people are just so confident. Like, guns are not a bad thing, and this whole place is just that, like, a mecca of this is what responsible firearms ownership looks like, and all the training and everything. Yeah, you got top notch. And let's go sentimental here.
Oh, jeez.
I lost my dad probably about 8-9 years ago to an accidental discharge, and I was talking to John when I first started here, and he's like, "Man, why the heck aren't you anti-gun?" It's like, because it's a tool. It's like, why? I'm the person smart enough because of my upbringing, and I guess you would call training and know-how, that you don't blame the weapon. You don't blame the tool. It didn't do anything. And so when I came to the range and did all this stuff, it's just like more of a fuel. Like, it's my calling. Like, this is perfect. Spread, like you said earlier, Rolando, like, spread the good word. It's kind of what it is. And yeah, it's a great place to be, like, in all aspects.
Man. Well, thanks for sharing that. I was going to give you some crap, but I can't now. So and really, I mean, a lot of people find their passion, with firearms in one way or another, and like you said, I think the more that you're around firearms, the more you understand that it is a tool, and we've talked about that multiple times before. It's the intent behind, the tool that you're using. So
yeah, I think my accomplishment, I'm proud to be part of this. I told the owner and managers, I'm like, dude, I believe in this place so much. It's amazing. Like, you have no idea what you have.
That's awesome.
And it's, to everybody listening out there, dude, come down and take in all the knowledge that you can. Like, it's fantastic. It's the best group of people.
One thing too, I'm trying to, hopefully we can launch pretty soon. I hope that this happens. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I don't have the Beretta, but I'm cutting in.
Go ahead.
Okay. Anyway,
Sure.
I'm hoping to launch some online classes here pretty soon, so we can reach out to more people across the country. So obviously still reach out and get training in person from a vetted source, but hopefully we can reach out and we can touch more lives with this.
Yeah,
in the future.
And in this day and age, this like I said, this mecca of positivity, it needs to shine greater, because it's just, guns are getting such a bad rap. and it just kind of makes me sick. It's like, oh, now bump stocks are illegal, or this is illegal. High capacity magazines are illegal, and it's like, to put it, I guess as my dad would say, like you put a frog in boiling water, he jumps out. You put a frog in cold water and slowly turn the heat up, he just sits there. And that's kind of what I think is happening to our rights and our gun rights. We need to get the better word out that that's not how it is. It's not what just because your TV says something's evil doesn't
make it so.
Yeah. Except Glocks. I mean, that's
Yeah, you have a Springfield, don't you?
Yeah, I'm a Springfield guy.
Explains a lot.
I only have 3 of them.
Scott is a very good shooter.
Actually,
very
you've got a tricked out Springfield with a flared magwell and a couple of 5,000-6,000 magazines, and you've got the red dot on there. It's actually quite nice looking.
Yes.
Rolando staring at you.
Rolando, for the viewers out there who can't see us, I'm getting some evil eyes. Rolando actually showed me the 5.25. And I hopped on it. Okay, so funny story. I can't remember what you called me. So I was looking to buy the 5.25, and the Sportsman's in Nampa had one.
I had it lined up, and I was telling him, Scott, I'm planning on getting this gun.
And I was like, no, I want it too.
You're like, would you be?
Is this like you guys like? I'm going to take your girlfriend.
Did he buy it? He called buy it from under you?
I didn't mind. I was like, awesome.
Okay.
You're getting the 5.25, so am I. Yeah, I got no problem with that.
There's like one left in the valley.
Yeah, and I had already been to Sportsman's. I looked at it, held it.
Yeah.
I was in awe of it.
Yeah.
And Scott said, I'm gonna purchase it on Monday. Okay, cool. And, I can't wait. I'm gonna get mine in a couple weeks. And
You're the worst.
He bought the last one. At Sportsman's. It was on hold.
Oh, right? Man.
So I was like, do you happen to have any more? Nope, that's the only one. Okay. Is it on hold? You have one on hold, right? Yeah, we do. Is it under the name Scott? Well, yes, it is. He's a Nazi.
They gave me a dirty look because of you. I walked in and they're like,
wait, you bought 2?
Everything.
No, I bought one. He called Sportsman's and told him I was like some white supremacist or something. Don't sell him this gun, just so he could have it. And
they still sold it to
you. They looked me up and down hardcore. They're like, okay, hold on. Let's see some papers or something. I was like, did Rolando call? And the guy's like, oh, okay, he did say, okay, my friend. And they're like, all right, give me your enhanced.
Nice. That's some true friendship right there.
Yeah. You can shoot it whenever you want.
Yeah.
Jerk.
So
sorry.
No. I appreciate it. It's cool to hear, what shooting means to people, and whether that's being, part of a gun range, RSOing. I mean, because we've talked about on the podcast before how there's, the gun world is huge. There's so many different aspects and niches that you can get into. And to hear all the positive things that it's done for you is really, kind of nice to hear. Because like you said, firearms and guns do get a lot of bad rap, and there's a lot of negative press. So being able to at least, hear one person's story and one person's, positive impact with firearms, I think is telling of independence and just of the firearms world in general right now.
All 5 of us are living proof guns don't kill people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's biggest anti.
I did see my Springfield make breakfast this morning, so I don't trust it.
My AR was washing the dishes. That's weird that you say that.
Man, you guys got productive guns.
We bought good ones.
You gotta leave it alone like that.
I think for me, I did a lot this year too. I stepped outside my comfort zone a lot by becoming an RSO, getting involved, with RSOing classes and things like that, getting the competitions. We did this thing called Hogan's Alley here a couple of times.
That was cool.
Where you want to...
That was cool.
But we did Hogan's Alley, and basically it was like a running course. You had like cardboard cutouts that you had to go run to different stations and stuff.
That was one of the first days we met you. Was when we were doing that. Because that night we were running Hogan's Alley. That's right.
And I'd never done anything like that before. You started the stage with a shotgun. You had to load a shell right into it. Shoot a target 25 yards on one side of the range, and then take the shotgun, run to the other side of the range, and then load another one in there there with a shell that was waiting for you, shoot that one 25 yards, and then you had to get your pistol out of a safe and then shoot the targets a couple different stages, through cover, all that kind of stuff. And I had never done anything like that before. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. Like, this is, I want to make sure I stay safe and everything. And so the funny thing was, I was with Ben, and he walked me through the whole thing first, and then I went and did it once really slow, like just to make sure I had everything, and then I was able to do it again a little bit faster. And just the patience that he had, and the patience that a lot of the instructors have here, really makes you a lot more confident and comfortable with firearms. And so that was a really big thing. And then getting into the competitions and stuff like that. I'd never really been in a competition before. Coming from Illinois, like I said, in Chicago, and Rolando being from SoCal, you can probably relate a little bit, is that people don't really talk about guns. It's kind of a taboo subject.
They're more afraid of it than anything else.
Yeah, and I've talked about this on the podcast before, that anytime they really talk about it, it's in relation to crime. It's not necessarily with hunting or anything like that. It's lack of experience. And so, but I was able to get out of my comfort zone and get a lot more comfortable with guns and with firearms, and the social aspect of guns, being able to talk to people about them, and be around people who enjoy the sport of shooting and enjoy firearms is something new for me. And being able to really put my passion and appreciation for the sport of shooting and firearms as a hobby out there, because like I said, I never really talked about it back home in Illinois. And it's kind of silly to say, but one of the biggest things, like, for me, was putting this podcast on my own Facebook page and promoting it and saying, like, hey, I'm into guns, I like shooting, like, everybody knows me as the responsible person back home, kind of mild-mannered, I guess. But I didn't know how many people were going to be like, oh my God, you like guns? Like, what's the matter with you, or something like that. And luckily I never got that reaction, So, becoming a positive role model, or at least as positive as I can be, for guns and for firearms rights and all that kind of stuff has been my biggest thing. So we had an episode, if you haven't heard it, my aunt from Chicago had never shot an AR before. She owns a revolver, but I think she wasn't afraid of it, and she wasn't necessarily against it, but she just didn't know, and she was a big fan, and it was a great experience. So, and being able to just share that kind of stuff with people, like Scott said, through RSOing, showing people how to operate guns safely, it helps you enjoy it more, and taking the classes, a couple classes that I've taken here, helps you enjoy it more. And being able to, to say, okay, what's the next step? How can I take this to the next level? Because, that was one of the things I wanted to do at the beginning of the year, was take my hobby of guns to the next level, and get more involved in it. And now here we are, 39 episodes deep in a podcast. So
like you guys, awesome. Like you guys keep saying, it's like the day that you think everything about guns, like, you've lost.
Yeah.
It's like there's something new always, and the learning about them, the education to, they got the Smith & Wesson EZ now, so just the new guns.
There's always something new that's going to come out. So, but that leads us to next year, because since we're at the end of 2018, it was a hell of a year. Yeah.
Quick, man.
It did. It went real fast. Like, I can't believe it, because we started this podcast in April. I think beginning of April. And now, like I said, that was 39 episodes ago. And now we're here. Yeah, already. So, but let's switch gears to the future then. That's enough reflection on the past, I think. Let's move on to the future.
Back to the future.
Let's go back to the future. There we go. Thanks, Marty. Ricky, whatever your name is.
McFly. We should make some New Year's resolutions. I know we're kind of talking about it, but we could write them down.
Yeah, you're going to write them down.
Wait, welcome to
write them down.
Wait, hold on. Welcome to the podcast, Ricky.
Sorry, I'm playing with my earbud covers, the ones that Mark picked up earlier.
Ricky's actually playing with a ball of yarn. In case you're not, you can't see.
Well, since we need to get him engaged, Ricky,
you guys were boring me to tears.
Wow,
I couldn't.
Jeez,
I was like Mark's voice is so soothing.
Oh God,
that I'm just falling asleep.
At least I know who it was now.
Rolando, can you go get Ricky's coloring book for me?
Well, let's get Ricky be engaged. What do you want to accomplish next year, Ricky?
Like I said earlier, I would really like to get those online courses going. I think reaching out and engaging more people, hopefully around the world or around the country at least, would be awesome. To share the talents that we have with our instructors here around the country, and I think that would be awesome. We're going to do a lot of other just regular small training videos.
Yeah.
And Steve will be part of those too, and probably actually you guys as well. But
oh, thanks.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun. It's just more reaching out as far as the social media and the marketing and all that stuff goes.
Outreach.
So we have this podcast, but it is what it is because you know you have to listen to Mark. But
thanks.
No, it's great, but we need to do more. We need to do more.
The podcast is awesome.
Thank you.
Considering I was just listening, like I binge listened to it like the last 2 weeks, and it's just it's fun to talk. Your passion
something
with,
you like.
with like people that are like minded.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Rolando, what do you want to do next year, firearms wise?
Learn. How
Once
so? You stop learning, you stop growing. The classes, taking more classes, possibly getting an RSO under the belt.
You're not. No, you didn't. They're taken up. You can't do anything.
Wow.
No.
Put in the cap, man.
Mark and I, we run the show.
Yeah, Steve knows the guy who teaches the class, so he can help you out.
Yeah, just to grow in every aspect of the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I like the gentlemen that work here, the instructors. They're amazing. So just to get more involved, make the time, and just kind of make it a priority. Because me personally, growing in the classes that you learn here translate to everyday life.
Oh yeah.
So you have to make it a priority.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a priority that you enjoy. So,
yeah, it's easy to go home after work or on the weekends and kind of sit on the couch and watch TV or whatever, but it takes a little bit extra time and money and energy to grow and to improve on yourself. And so that's good.
Yeah,
it's a good thing. It's not easy sometimes, and it takes time, money, and energy, but it's worth it. It's in the
well
end.
Worth it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the old saying: $1,000 gun and $5 training. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Well, and that's like you talk about RSOing, and like the last episode we were talking about you guys kind of judging or just being discerning of your surroundings and the person that you're around, and that's the same way with like when that guy's been like, oh yeah, I'm ex SWAT and I'm and going on this whole like rant of like how cool he is and how qualified. I'm like, that's the guy that's going to hurt himself or somebody else. We talk about the concealed carry, and concealed carry laws are relatively new. I mean, you always had the open carry.
Yeah.
But concealed carry privileges are relatively new.
Yeah, only within the last probably 40, 50 years.
Yeah, depending on the state.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
now we got permitless carry.
Well, that's
but then you have. I mean, guess California depends on the county.
Yeah,
you have some holdouts. Still.
Riverside County, it didn't matter. We're Sheriff Sniff will not permit any concealed carry.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Or you can
hop the line over to San Bernardino County, and they're just passing them out like hotcakes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was the same thing in Chicago. I mean, you have to get like. There are people concealed carrying in Chicago now, which is a great thing, but I'm pretty sure you have to get like a special Chicago permit or something like that.
There has to be a special order of why you would need a concealed carry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't just be...
Even after the Fifth Circuit Court judged it's unlawful, yeah, there's some counties that still require a specific purpose for you to carry.
Yeah, we're fortunate to live in a state where we don't have to worry about those issues really, but...
I don't know. It's kind of, though, you think about the history of it. You, on one hand, you see a lot of rights getting stripped. Like we were talking, I think 2 or 3 episodes ago about what were we talking about? Something happening.
Bump stocks?
Yeah, bump stocks. That's right.
Oh yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, and So on one hand, you have things getting stripped, but on the other side, you do see rights being granted that have never been granted before. Like we were just talking about, the government saying yes, it's okay to carry concealed has become more and more accepted.
Yeah,
and hopefully we live to a day where we can see a constitutional or a national carry,
National Reciprocity
Act, something like that, actually be passed. Mr. Ron Nate, Representative Ron Nate, who unfortunately is no longer a representative, but he passed that bill. We talked light years ago in the podcast, but it did help us to get in contact with a couple of the local schools, and we are now teaching in the school in a school right now.
Right. Yeah, so, teaching firearm safety, right? Yeah,
firearm safety. So awesome. I think that's a really awesome thing.
God bless Idaho.
It's huge.
And that's per that representative's bill that did that.
Yeah,
so.
Codifying some things.
Well, at least we don't live in England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were going to talk about that.
We meant to talk about that in the last episode. And we can just touch on it now. But Scott, you have family in England.
Yeah.
Where firearms ownership is a little bit different. And you can't even really carry a knife out on your person right now, right?
Honestly, you can't even think about having a knife. Then they'll come. The thought police will come after you. That's serious. I mean,
so who's your family members over there? Like, is this your aunt?
Or? Oh, it's like half my family.
Oh, okay.
I'm a mutt of the English Isles, and I think some Nordic, obviously, countries, but whatever.
That's the size. Right?
Yeah. Hey, I didn't, just because I walk around with a battle axe. But no, my uncle, pretty much my mom's side of the whole family. My uncle Pete, he's actually a prison guard it's a maximum security prison in England, and all he has is handcuffs
and a fly swatter.
Yeah.
Do they train him in hand to hand?
They train him in hand to hand, so he knows restraint techniques and all that. If things get out of control, they have, I think, what's called the Nationals, is like their riot response crew.
Do they have guns?
I think they carry. Yeah, I think they carry mostly non-lethal. And they do carry firearms. I asked him for sake of the podcast, I was like, what can you do just carrying, like, when you're off duty or anything? Like, how do you defend yourself? He's like, nothing. You can't have anything. Like, you have a stick on you, it's, they can prosecute you. It's ridiculous.
This is England?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Derby.
Or is this, so this isn't just London, this is all of the whole country?
Because they live, trying to remember my geography. Derby's like probably 45 minutes outside London by train, I think. And nothing.
So part of the metro area still.
Yeah, it's a pretty busy area, and he can't do anything. It's just like you use your hands and that's it. And I was like, wow, I hope the criminals are following those laws,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you have it less safe now, more dangerous, more criminals, and you're giving them less ability to protect themselves.
Yeah. But, you ask any of the media or whatever, the reports they do, it's, the gun deaths, their gun crime. Oh, it's so low because they banned them. Like, that's not, you gotta look at crime in general. Like, people will find ways. Evil will find ways.
Now, your uncle, though, did he ever... He never probably carried a firearm because wasn't that always outlawed, like at least in his lifetime?
Yeah, you have to have special permits. You can carry guns, and I had a friend that's from Germany too. You basically hunting, like shotguns, if you're out in the country, those are permitted. No pistols, as far as I remember. I haven't checked any of the laws, but yeah, you have to. What in Germany? Like, I remember hearing that you have to have certain reasons of why you need the firearm, like competition and self-defense or home defense can't be one of them, or not one of them.
And there's all kinds of laws over there, but that's the big difference between the UK and Australia and the US is it's a right over here. I think a lot of people forget that it's a constitutional right, whereas it's a privilege in Europe and Australia and almost every other country, if not every other country in the world. So How about that for a sidebar?
I like this country.
But no, that's the thing is, I mean, it all kind of goes back to we have to remember and respect and stand up for our freedom to be able to own firearms, because, you know, you can look at other countries and that's it. It's not that far-fetched that it could happen here.
They keep blaming it, saying that, oh, times have changed and it's different culture and this, that, and the other. It's, well, yeah, the quicker you forget about the culture you don't like, it's easier to keep that going and be like, well, that's not how it is anymore.
Yeah. But there have been a couple articles, and we'll post them with it too, that say younger people are more okay with guns and actually carry guns more often than older folks. So there is, I don't know, maybe call me naively. Yeah, call me naively optimistic, but there is hope. So, well, here's hoping that it keeps, you know, swinging back the right way.
Yeah,
the correct way.
So what does it look like in the future in 2019?
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Overall.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's the grassroots of what we're doing right now on this podcast. I mean, are we making much of a change? I don't know, but we're trying.
But that's one of the
level, yeah.
That's one of the aims of the podcast. From the start that we agreed on was, you know, educating people and cutting through all the misinformation. So, and I think that's what we're doing. I hope that's what we're doing. You know, and I think, you know, just hearing all of us talk about, you know, wanting to educate ourselves more should be testament to that. You know, not only do a lot of people who don't know anything about firearms have a lot to learn, but we still have a lot to learn about firearms. So education, I think, is the big theme for 2019. So
no idea.
But let's close on that. I think we've kind of all covered everything about what we wanted to
Scott?
do.
No, it's
we missed Scott.
Okay. I'm sorry. That was premature.
No, I'm just.
We talked about
We'll be here for another half hour. I gotta shut up.
Well, here, let's give me the quick and dirty of 2019. Scott's 2019. What do you want to accomplish next year?
It's, I mean, to beat a dead horse, education, and not just firearms. I mentioned to you guys about the, you know, certain medical training and all sorts of that. Like, just get anything and everything that you guys offer, even, you know, different, what's the word I'm looking for? Just
a variety.
Yeah, a variety. Not just here, but outside the state, probably. Education. Look at educating myself, basically, on every aspect that I can, and somehow get into like certain training, because that's kind of what I did for a while at our job. Like, I trained new hires, and I have that, you know, I guess, ability to kind of make material relatable, and that's how I want to, like, you know, I guess give a gift back or whatever, is keep doing that and just kind of
use your calling.
Yeah, there we go.
And do more of, you know, Ricky's Academy videos, and hopefully that, you know, there'll be like an Aquaman 2 sequel, and
oh gosh,
I'll be right there.
So
yeah, be positive stewards of our hobby.
Yep, shining example.
Yes, exactly. Man, you guys got me beat with all this deep stuff. I just want to learn how to shoot a carbine, shoot a shotgun better, and have some of the instructors teach me how to shoot better. And shoot more. I didn't, you know, with all the work I've been doing, I really didn't get to shoot all that much this year, and so that's what I want to do next year: is shoot more and just shoot better.
It's good.
You're a good shot.
I'm okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I beat you once.
Yeah, I know. I'll let you have that one.
You know what? If you have any New Year's resolutions that you want to share with us, or something that maybe we should get into, maybe you've been listening for a while, and there's something that we haven't covered. We've covered a lot, but we've probably really only scratched the surface of the gun world. So we got big plans for 2019. We hope you stick around with us for that, and help us shape the podcast, because we want it to make it better. We want to make it better for you, and we can't do that without your feedback. So send us an email, podcast@iishooting.com. Check out the Facebook page, Range Minded Podcast. We're working on an Instagram too, so keep your eyes peeled for that in 2019, Range Minded Podcast, and whatever else we come up with, who knows.
And tell your friends about the podcast.
Fax. I think we should bring back faxing.
Facsimile.
Facsimile. Yeah, send your friends a fax. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Rolando, Scott, thanks for hanging out with us again on another episode. I'm sure we'll have you guys on again.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, no
awesome.
problem. Hope you guys had a good time.
Absolutely.
And again,
Actually, one of the resolutions I have is to start doing video podcasts.
Oh, well, then everybody's going to know what we look like.
At least one or two.
Sure.
I think that would be fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think we should do that. Yeah, we can do that in 2019.
Make sure we have the right
Brought
lighting.
live from this closet.
The right lighting.
We're not coming out of the closet just yet. So, well, thanks for listening to Range Minded. Again, I am Mark Long.
Ricky Kasner.
Well, again, Scott and Rolando, thanks for being with us. We hope you have a great New Year's Eve, and we'll talk to you in 2019. Thanks.
Stay safe.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Range Minded. Find us online at Range Minded Podcast on Facebook, or send us an email at podcast@iishooting.com. We're always happy to get feedback, episode suggestions, whatever you want to send us, really. And be sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and pretty much wherever else you get your podcasts from. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.